LDBC, this is your boy Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Boxing and MMA Show live. Okay, folks, I'm just going to go ahead and drop this video on why I think Rigondeaux can beat Lomachenko. I'm just going to tell you now, if you come onto this channel saying that, you're another black guy that hates on Lomachenko, I'm going to delete comments and block. Don't come on here with that don't come on here with that stupid stuff. Don't come on here with that, okay? And a little bit about my background. I actually was the one who picked Lomo to beat Walters. I even debated for Lomo. I even debated that Lomachenko would beat Walters. Point blank said it. And the fight ended up exactly how I thought it would be, except for him quitting. That's the only thing I couldn't predict. But I predicted exactly what Lomachenko would do to Walters. First of all, let me tell y'all, when I predict fights, okay, I never predict fights based on emotion. Okay, I learned that from the boxing librarian. But he was using it for a debate, but I kind of bridged it over to predicting fights because it's the same thing. Like, emotionally, yeah, I was for Walters and I was really wanting him to win. But technically and skill-wise, Lomo. I couldn't deny that. And point blank, I debated and I said that Lomachenko would beat Walters. And I thought that Lomo would have a pretty easy time doing it. I predicted that. I just didn't say that Walters would quit. I didn't say that. But I did say that Lomachenko was going to outpoint him and beat him on points. I said it. Okay? And you know what? I watched a lot of fight film of these two guys fight. When I'm breaking down and I'm looking at fights, I actually understand what I'm looking at. And so I come to my conclusion. I watch as many fights of these guys that I can find online. I sit and I watch them, man. I see how these guys react to getting hit. Okay? I see how these guys, handle counters. I see how these guys counter. I see how these guys create ring generalship, create space between him and the other fighter. I see how these guys throw their jabs, what angles they're throwing the jabs from. I see how many punches they slipping around. I see how many punches they slip per fight. I see how many times they're getting hit by the same punch. I'm looking at a lot of different variables when I'm looking at a fight. See, I'm looking at a lot of things. I'm not just looking at two guys slugging it out. I'm looking at a lot of things. Where is he putting his lead foot? What is his back foot doing? How wide is his stance, okay? Is he able to push off the balls of his feet? See, I'm looking at all of that stuff. Can he throw a jab on the back foot? Can he use his jab to get out of danger? Can he step back? Can he use his back foot to push off with his front foot to get out of danger? Is all this stuff, can he do that? That's what I'm looking at when I look at these fights. So by the time I come to make my prediction video, I already understand. And I predict that Rigo would beat Lomachenko. I predict Rigo would beat him. I'm going to explain to y'all why, but I'm going to debunk a lot of stuff that people say why Rigo can't do it. Okay, first of all, let's start talking about one thing people say is that Lomachenko is too big for Rigo. Are you serious? When Rigo was fighting at 122, Lomo was fighting at 126. See, I don't understand. What do you mean he's too big? Amagasa came in outweighing Rigo by damn near 20 pounds. Okay, Amagasa came in at 145 pounds on fight night. This guy managed to drop Rigo because Rigo stood in there and traded. When he stood toe-to-toe with him. He stood in there and traded with Amagasa. Like, that was crazy. But Amagasa managed to drop him twice. What did Rigo do? Rigo got up, man. Rigo got up and beat the living hell. Look, man, he beat up Amagasa so bad, man. The dude's face was disfigured. He broke his face. He didn't break his jaw. He broke his face. He broke his face. But if he was able to go in there and take this big puncher, and Amagasa is a big puncher. He's a big puncher. Much bigger man than Rigo. When he got knocked down, the second time, I'm like, wait a minute. This dude might get in there and knock Rigo out. But Rigo just got up, man. Like, he never been knocked down. He got up like he just didn't get knocked down. Got up. And he started putting on a clinic. He put on a boxing clinic, and made Amagasa completely halt in his tracks. Okay? But Amagasa, I guess Rigo can't handle the size. I think Amagasa is a bigger man. He's a bigger man than Lomo. Amagasa damn near, what, 6 feet tall? He's a bigger man than Lomachenko. So that really debunks that size. I'm not talking about what Amagasa can do and what Lomo can do in the ring. I'm not talking about that. We're talking about size. This is for the argument of size, okay? So you're telling me, with Amagasa being a bigger man, Y'all seem to think that Lomachenko's size is just going to completely discourage Guillermo Rigondeaux. Come on, y'all. How you going to explain that? How you going to explain that? He get in there and pepper Amagasa to death, made the man quit in the corner, or his corner through the towel in. How you going to explain this? It's not the size. Donier. I felt like Donier was a bigger man, okay? I felt like Donier was the bigger man between the two. Donier knocked him down. What did Rigo do? He got up. The bigger man hit him, knocked him down. He got up. He got up. He got up immediately and began to put on the clinic. And what did he do to Donier? He messed up Donier's face. Broke parts of his face. But I'm using this as the narrative of size, not skill set. We're talking about size. Okay? Talking about size. Rigo, most of the time, is going to always be the smaller guy, man. That's just how it is. He's going to always be the smaller guy. He's a small guy. He's a naturally small guy. The size man, look, this dude done boxed guys that were much bigger than him. He done boxed guys much bigger than him. This guy's prepared. I keep telling y'all, this man is prepared. El Jacko is prepared for every situation. He is. Okay, let's talk about the narrative y'all put out that Lomo is too fast and he's going to hit Rigo with a lot of volume punches. Really? Okay, now, we ain't going to talk about skill set just yet. No, we're going to say that for last. So, you're saying that Rigondeaux is going to have a problem with a volume puncher. What was Nonito Donaire? Now, I'm not talking about skill set. I'm talking about just volume punching now. What was Nonito Donaire? That wasn't a volume puncher. Donaire is a volume puncher. You see, what Rigondeaux did is what he does to almost every last one of his opponents. You see, you get these guys that throw all these punches, and I'm really starting to believe that a lot of you guys, well, I believe y'all ain't never been in the ring. Because many of you dudes, you ain't never got hit by a counterpunch. You never have. Because if you getting hit by a guy that can counter, I'm talking about a guy that can really, really counter, you don't want to get hit by somebody. Because see, when you're getting countered, you don't see him coming. That's the name. It's called countering for a reason. You don't see the counters coming. And the punches you don't see coming, those are the ones that hurt. I'm telling you now, when I threw punches, and I was considered more of a volume puncher, more than a counter puncher. And let me tell you something. As soon as I felt those counters, they were coming, and you feel them, and you don't see them coming. You really never see them coming. I'm telling you now, man, you rethink your whole game plan. You don't want to go in there throwing a bunch of punches against somebody who can catch you with one that can end your whole night. You don't want to. And you start rethinking your game plan, which is what Nonito Donaire did. Rigo caught him with some good counters that hurt, that stung, and what did he do? He became a boxer. Rigondeaux turned this dude from a volume puncher into a boxer. And when you start to box, then you see what happens, okay? Instead of playing checkers, now you're playing chess with the man who's the master of chess. That's Rigondeaux. He can stop a volume puncher, y'all. He's been doing that his whole career, stopping guys who throw a lot of punches from throwing punches because he's a great counter puncher. And it's like, some people act like you really don't know this, or maybe you don't know it, and I'm trying to explain it to you. This is boxing. That's what it is. A great counter puncher can stop a guy who can throw a lot of punches. They do it all the time. Just like Floyd, people thought that Manny Pacquiao was going to pepper Floyd with all these punches and do this and do that. We see what happened. A good counter puncher stopped a volume puncher, from throwing all those punches. Amagasa was a volume puncher. Rigondeaux caught him with some great counters that hurt. And what did he do? This man didn't want to suffer no more face damage. He stopped. He was real reluctant to throw those punches. He became reluctant. They don't want to throw. If you're a real fighter, you don't want to throw you don't want to throw punches at a guy who you know can end your night with one shot. I mean, that debunks that right there. Lomo is too fast for Rigo. Really. Rigo fast. What is Lomo going to do against a guy like Rigo who's fast? This not a Nicholas Walters that he be getting into the ring with. And I used to argue with people too that, I said Rigo and Walters ever fought. I said Rigondeaux would actually Rigo would have made him quit faster. Because Rigo is a master at breaking people's face. That's what he does. He breaks your face. This man don't have to throw punches. He's an expert at throwing. I mean, you know, I can see if he did it one time, you'd be like, okay, he got lucky. These ain't lucky punches. This man is skillful in the art of doing damage. That's what he does. This man can break your face, and he knows how to do it in few punches. He can end your night. And he's an expert at doing it. He's that skilled that he can hit these guys in the proper in the place accurately. And these guys' faces break. The man know how to do it. And I know he would get in there and do the exact same thing. Lomo is too fast. Really? He done been in there with some speedy guys. Now, we're not talking about skill set yet. Not yet. Speed. Donaire not fast? I'm telling you, that timing beats speed every time. You can tell me all day that this person is fast, but if another guy got great timing, that beats speed. Example, Marquez versus Pacquiao. I mean, that enough said right there. So don't tell me that Lomo is too fast for Rigondeaux. Rigo is fast. Like, really, what do you think gonna happen if Lomo get hit one of those shots? Them shots that's breaking faces. What do you think's gonna happen? What do you think he's gonna do? Do you really think that he's gonna come in there and throw a bunch of punches against this man who could break your face? No, Lomo gonna be looking for those counters, and he gonna stop playing checkers and he gonna play chess with the master chess player. And he gonna lose. I'm trying to tell you. You ain't gotta listen. But I'm gonna come back on here, make a video if they ever fight, and I'm gonna say I told you so. I'm gonna say I completely told you exactly what was gonna happen. Okay? Lomo got a lot of angles. Let's start talking about skill. Lomo, he's too skillful. He can do it at angles. Rigo is good with angles. Rigo know how to cut angles off. See, Donaire was trying to throw all them angles and all these crazy punches and all this stuff from an angle. Man, Rigo cut that mess off, man. Rigo was cutting off his angles, man, and then countering them. So, Lomo, he love angles. Rigondeaux cut those angles off. Folks, that's just the way that is. He gonna cut them angles off and counter this dude. I'm telling you, it's not gonna be a matter of speed, because Rigo is fast too. Rigo is fast. He's smooth, but he's fast. He's fast. And I can tell you, if Lomo coming in throwing a barrage of punches, man, he gonna get caught. He gonna get caught and he gonna bag up. And he gonna do just like all the other ones do. They crumble with that right hand hit. They crumble. They crumble. Rigo hits hard, man. The dude power is just his power, man. His power is very underrated. Rigo got underrated power, man, but that power is through the roof. Rigo, I'm telling you, Amagasa, he came in almost being a damn welterweight that night. He said that, man, he set him on the stool. He didn't come back out. People, that's just the way that is. That's just the way that is. Rigondeaux will beat Lomachenko. And the mental game, they both mentally strong. But see, Rigo, have we really ever seen him? I think we see what happened when Rigo had to take his skill set up to another level. When he got knocked down by Amagasa, we saw him. We saw him unleash the dragon. And I'm telling you, it was real. Okay? What would Rigo do with a guy like Lomo? What would he do? Would Lomo be able to walk him down? I seriously doubt it. Because if he come in like he did against Walters and get caught with a counter, he's not going to want to do that. He's going to stop. He going to feel that heat. He going to back up. He can keep walking in if he want to, but his face going to get broke. That's just the way that is. See, he came in on Nicholas and kept walking in on Nicholas because Walters was scared. Rigo ain't finna be scared. Rigo gonna stand there. If he coming in charging Rigo will bag up, he'll bag up, bam, catch him. Step back out of there. See, it's gonna be like a bull in a ring in Matador. The dude face gonna get broken, man. If he fight like he fought against Walters and do that and try to come in, he gonna get hurt. And that's just the way that is. I'm done. Subscribe.